requested a video about reloading the shotgun, doing it in like a speedily manner. So in this clip, we're going to cover a few basics of speed reloading the shotgun. Alright, the first type of reload we're going to talk about is tactical reload, or what some people call the round dump. Now basically what this is, you're firing the shotgun's empty, so if it's a semi-automatic and it has a lockback feature, it locks open. If it's a pump action, you kind of distinctly pull it back to eject the round even though you didn't shoot a round. That's kind of distinctive, so you have an open chamber. And what this basically does is it helps you save a step from having to basically pump the shotgun forward, loading it, and then go ahead and pump it in again to chamber the round. Saves you a whole lot of stuff from doing that. It's basically the same thing with semi-auto. Now basically what this is you, first of all, we're using a side saddle for this method. This is the best way to do it for a side saddle, in my opinion. Holds multiple rounds on the edge of the shotgun. Note, if you do get a side saddle, get one that has a elastic band for the shells itself. The plastic ones work okay, but they tend to jiggle loose after shooting. These elastics will not move after shooting. So, okay, now we're going to do a tactical reload, or a round dump, if you will. We're firing, the shotgun goes click, we pull it back, no rounds in the chamber. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump a round in that thing. Now there's many ways you can do this. Some people like to do it from the bottom, some people like to do it from the top. Basic principle is what you want to do is you want to remove the round, pull it out, come across, and literally dump it right into the chamber, and then go ahead and rack slide forward. Now some people, what I like to do is personally is I stick one upwards so I can come across the top. So instead of pulling down, I'm pulling from the top. Now as you see, I got my round set up sticking one up. Now why would I do that? That's kind of weird, right? Well, basically I have my reloading rounds in a row and facing downwards for when I insert. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I want this round up so I can literally just pop it up off the top and dump it in a lot easier than I can going from underneath, at least in my opinion. I come into it, it goes bang, nothing happens, so what I do is I just grab and throw it forward. This way I don't have to pull, reach underneath, and ride forward. The advantage of this technique is you're right next to the chamber, so it's faster to dump in. Disadvantage of it is, A, if you drop it, you're not going to be able to have time to catch it if it falls, and B, to reach the pump action or whatever, you have to reach underneath the shotgun itself. You have to. So I dump the round, I got to come back underneath. If I was here, I'd have to dump and then just push forward.
Okay, here's the tactical reload from the bottom. And here's a tactical reload from the top.
Alright, the next type of reload is called the side saddle reload. It's a good average reload for most people because it keeps a round on the gun, and it's very easy for most people to do. Now, like I said before, the side saddle attached to the side of the firearm, the receiver. Once you do the pins, try to get the elastic if you can. Don't get the plastic because the plastic tends to jiggle for most people. Elastic works great and doesn't jiggle, at least in my experience of the side saddle. Okay, basically the principle of this is we're shooting. Well, we don't run the gun dry. We know there's a round in the chamber, perhaps there's even some in the tube, but we don't want to run into another situation where we don't have rounds. So we want to load the shotgun. Now, basically this situation is I'm going to go into it. Okay, I want to reload. Now some people like to use a strong hand and load with the left. Personally, I like to transfer to my weak hand. This way I have good support in seeing the shells, and I also can work with my strong hand loading the shells. So I'm going to be shooting, I want to reload, I'm going to stick it to my side. This shows all my shells perfect on my side saddle. I'm going to use my strong hand and go ahead and transfer the shells in the tube, you know, as fast as I can into a speedily manner. And then after I'm done, I'm able to rotate the shotgun back into a target.
Or simply turn the shotgun to its side, lay it on your forearm, and insert the shells.
Okay, the next type of reload I'm going to talk about is the wrist reload. This is great. It's very simple for most people. If you're getting a 3-gun, you want to start shooting, you don't have a side saddle, you don't have a shell stripper, which we will talk about that here in a little bit also. This is great for most people. Basically all it is you know those things you slide onto the butt of the shotgun that holds the shells, looks all cool and shit? That's all it is, man, except for you slip it on your wrist. Very simple. But it works great for most people. Just like a side saddle reload, basically. Same situation, we got rounds in the gun. All we want to do is put more rounds in for a situation. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rotate. In this case, you have to use the weak hand, unless you put it on your right hand, which I don't know. That'd be kind of difficult. You have to pull down here. You'll see what I mean here in a little bit. Shooting, you got the rounds on your wrist like so on your weak hand. Shooting, you're going to do the same thing as you did with the side saddle. You're going to rotate the shotgun outwards and look. Basically the same position as where your side saddle was before, except for now you got them on your wrist. And you simply take the rounds, insert them, put them in the shotgun as fast as you can, and then go ahead and rotate it back out to the target. Very simple, very cheap, $10, something like that. It's a good thing to get started with if you want to try your speed loading techniques. Very cheap way to do it.
Just like using side saddle, simply lay the shotgun on your forearm and load the shells.
Okay, the next type of reload is the fastest to do easily, but it's also the hardest to do. So it takes some practice to use. In this case, we're going to be using a tactical shell stripper, or what some people call the Cali stripper. So I believe it was been in California or some shit. But the basic principle of this is you literally grab the shells in your hand and you insert them in a speedily manner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the situation, same thing, I got round in the gun, maybe some in the tube, but I want to load more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the shells, same way every time. This is the important part. And I'll cup them in my hand. I'll do a little tutorial inside the house so it shows up better. It's kind of getting dark out here. But grab the shells like so and insert them into your palm. Then you can feed them with your index finger, and your thumb will help push them in. Of course, you'll have the shotgun up, so you'll rip them out, and then you'll be able to load them one after another, almost using your magazine. Almost using your hand as like a magazine, and your spring, as your pinky as a spring, as you push them up into the... Some people get really good at this. I'll show you what I mean inside.
Alright, grabbing the shells for this one is very important. So make sure you would consistently grab the shells the same way. Alright, now that you got the rounds, use your index finger to help guide them and your thumb to help push them in there. Try using your pinky and your palm almost like a magazine spring and help feeding them to your thumb as you push them through. Alright, it's better to start off loading 2 shells on this one until you feel like you can consistently load 4 or more shells.